Okay, what we're going to do today is work on the comprehension of the project status browser for Performance Logic. And so what you want to do as you're reporting progress on your reports is I want to point your attention to the screen. Not including the financial impact right now, what we want to do what you want to do as a project director is you want to focus your attention on the performance measures and the project exceptions. And the way these work is that the performance measures themselves have already been pre-populated by Performance Logic. Unless we change those ourselves in conjunction with Performance Logic, we will be able to then have the actual tables and graphs that represent the progress that has been made related to the performance measures. In the actual work plan, the performance measures are defined as a metric. You'll see those listed as a metric in your actual plan. And then this particular item here, which says project exceptions, these are basically all the tasks that are overdue. Any issues that you highlight in the actual Performance Logic will be reported here. And so on a weekly basis, what you want to be able to do is objectively report where are you with respect to your performance measures or metrics. And when you look at how far you've advanced in your measures, everything gets populated. For example, the financial part will get populated. And then also when you dig deeper in terms of how the percentage complete, you can report the percentage complete on each of your individual projects. So again, let me just to recap. These performance measures are already pre-populated. We can't change those unless we work with Performance Logic to have those changed. But then what we can manipulate here internally is we're going to point your attention to the plan. Okay? And on the plan, if we go to project schedule, okay? So on the project plan, what we've done so far to highlight what we're asking you to do to be able to populate Performance Logic so that we can begin reporting on our progress is that what we've done is we've taken the first metric and we looked at the milestones that are already included in the plan that you have. And so just to give you an illustration, we're going to go between documents to show you how we did that. So we've done milestone 1, milestone 2, 3, and 4. So from district year 3, we find our 5th milestone. So as you can see previously, we clicked on district year 3, and then when we click on add tasks, okay, it adds basically a cell where you can then begin to type in milestone 5. And then what we do is we pull up the actual document and then we actually highlight the actual milestone, not the metric, because the metric's already been pre-populated for us. You get the milestone, you copy, then you paste. Okay. So that gives you an illustration as to how to insert your milestones per either district year 2, 3, 4, and 5. You've got to operate from this document here that you have respective to your project. Okay, this is where you get your information. Remember, don't touch the metrics. The metrics they've already been pre-populated for you. Okay, going back to Performance Logic, what we're going to do now is let's go ahead into milestone number 1. What you then do is you look at the rapid cycle plan that was emailed to you, respective to your individual projects, and you look at the individual tasks that you want to achieve, or you're going to achieve with respect to this milestone, and they're listed there for you. What you want to do now is add another task once you highlight that, and what it did is it created 1.1.1. This becomes your task, and go ahead and type in task 1. And then you go to the rapid cycle change plan. We're going to pull that up so that way you have an idea of how to do that. So the rapids, got it. Okay. All right, so now we're looking at the EOU. And so what we were looking at, metric number 1, if you recall. Okay. And so what you want to do is you want to take the task, copy, and you paste. Okay, so you have to work with it so that you can then be able to have that in place. So let's do one more. So from there, we had another task. So as you can see, it went 1.1.2. So then go here, and then go ahead and go to your rapid cycle change plan. Copy. Paste. Okay. And so then you just edit that to reflect accurately. So now that you have an idea of what we're asking you to do by next Monday, what you then want to do is go into these particular start and end dates, and you manipulate that as well. And the way you do that is you actually click on the actual arrow. So for example, on stakeholder meetings, okay, you can actually type in, or you can use the calendar function of your start date, for example. Click OK. And the system's kind of dummy proof, so if there's some things that just basically follow the instructions there. Basically it said that we were off the schedule. So once you choose it, then you do an end date. Again, you repeat the process, and then you're able to report where you're at, whether the options here would be, what would it be? Scheduled, in progress, completed. And once you click completed, it's 100%. So the idea here is that when you look at all the individual milestones and their respective tasks that address the milestone, which in turn respond to the metric, as these percentages vary, it's given an overall progress on how we're doing with each specific metric than the overall project. And so now that gets pre-populated in the measures section. What it begins to do is begins to tie in everything into the metric. Once the metric is reported based on all the activity that's going on and percentages, all those figures are calculated to give you an actual percentage of completion, and then these begin to populate as well. So obviously this, for that particular metric, gets populated, the second metric gets populated, so on and so forth. The last thing you also want to report are your issues. When you look at issues, you want to objectively list what the issues are. Any matters that are subjective in nature, you might want to just talk to the 1115 delegation team, Crystal, myself, or Cynthia. But we're looking at objectivity here related to what's so about the project and the issues that we're experiencing.